Hi Virgo, it's Gregory Scott here to do your astrology forecast for July 2015. It's a real pleasure to be with you today and thank you for joining me. Again, I'm going to do a really in-depth astrology forecast for you. I'm not going to use the tarot cards. I'm going to have a look at the planets, the luminaries, what space they're occupying, how they aspect other planets, what relationships they build, and how that's going to impact you. Okay, so the first thing that happens for you, dear Virgo, is on the 1st of July, there's a T-square in your chart, and a T-square is a placement that represents a problem, but that problem having a solution, and it gives you the answer to the problem. So the problem for you at the beginning of the month is a feeling of wanting something and feeling like it's not there. So it's almost like I want to be in love, I want the boyfriend, I want the girlfriend, I want to have that magical experience, emotional, intense experience that I am entitled to. But on a practical sense, it seems that it isn't there. And it seems like it's almost, it's just missing out of your life. And the solution to that problem is not to give up or to become disappointed or to go into victim mentality. Nothing good ever happens to me, I'm so lonely. The answer is to continue to build bridges, to put your best foot forward, to meet people, to get out there and to actually make an effort to realize your dreams. So it's about getting proactive. On the same day as well, your ascendant starts to square your midheaven, and when two angles like this square each other, 90 degrees apart, they create friction and energy between them. Your ascendant is in Virgo. So that's perfectly placed in your sign, and you feel very, very comfortable in your own skin at this time of the year. And it squares your midheaven, which is in Gemini. So the friction seems to be almost like you're being asked to do too much. Things are very quick. Things are almost out of your control. And there's so much going on that you feel a little bit chaotic almost. Both of those things, your ascendant, the way you see yourself, and your midheaven, they're both ruled by Mercury though. So there's a way to align this, and there's a way to make this work. By stepping up your game and by willingly and consciously saying, I am a communicator, I am showing up today, even though this may seem like a lot, I can work through this, I can manage that. You're really going to be able to get the most out of it, and you'll be able to manage it to your satisfaction. Mercury also sextiles Uranus from the 30th of June through until the 4th of July. Mercury is your ruling planet, and it sextiles that Uranus planet in Aries in the 8th. And what that means is that you're really going to have a tendency to be a little bit rebellious in the way you communicate, and also to throw in your own unique ideas. It's important and good for you to do this if you feel like you have something genuinely unique to offer, but I also feel like there may be a tendency to be mischievous and to derail people just for the fun of it, just to mess with people because you can. Because you're going to feel quite astute and pretty clever at the beginning of this month, and you're going to be on your A game intellectually, communicatively, and you may just want to just mess with people just for, you know, the thrill of it. Be original, be outlandish if there's value to it, and if you genuinely feel like it's important to say what you need to say. But if you feel like you're just doing it to get a reaction, avoid that. The 2nd of July sees the full moon occurring in Capricorn, and this is conjunct with Pluto. This is a bit of a dark full moon. It's like Night of the Living Dead. It's like bringing something that's been dead and forgotten and bringing it back to life. And this happens in your 5th house of romance and relationships. So for you, this is really good news. So that desire, that longing for a relationship really comes to life now and really becomes a reality. But the key is that you have to work at it, that you have to make it happen. But there's really great potential for you to find a romantic relationship or to get the romance back into your existing relationship by applying yourself to it and not just expecting it to happen. Saturn squares Venus from the 3rd of July onwards through until the 15th of August. And Venus, first of all, is right on top of your ascendant. So you see yourself as loving. You see yourself as outgoing, as wonderful. But Saturn kind of puts a spotlight on that and makes you question it a little bit and says, are you really projecting the way you're feeling? Are you really giving us what you feel inside? So it's about, it's not a bad thing, it's really getting clear on what you're putting out there. You know, there's nothing as frustrating as if you think, I think we've all done this, but we've gone out, I don't know, in the evening to go clubbing or something, and you think you look like the shiz, you think you're amazing, you're like the hottest thing that's ever appeared, and then you walk in and you catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror and you look like George Bush or something, and it's just like, oi, it's the worst moment, okay? So what this is doing, the Saturn, is it's kind of saying, just be clear on really what the reality is and how you feel within yourself, because you feel great and you feel loving, but if you're constantly griping or complaining, then you're not really putting that out there. So make sure that those two are in sync with each other. The Sun trines Neptune from the 24th of June until the 9th of July. And this is very positive for you because the dream of what can happen for you in a relationship connects with your hopes and dreams in terms of an emotional level, and it's a wonderful time for you to manifest what it is you want to achieve. Put a picture of your dream boy or girl on the wall, man or woman, whatever, because you can really manifest that into reality. That's great news. And you're you're Virgo, you know exactly what you're looking for. So making a vision board or something like that is really going to work well for you. Mercury moves into Cancer on the 9th of July, and it joins all the other planets that you've got in your 11th house of hopes and dreams at the moment. You are really, really a dreamer. You're really romantic. You're really looking for that emotional connection. You're really longing for something genuine and loving in your life. And that's wonderful because you're open for love. You're ready and receptive for love, and you're actively seeking it, and you're communicating now in a loving way. So that example I gave earlier where the reality didn't so much match how you're feeling inside, Mercury going into Cancer mitigates that Saturn a little bit and makes it easier for you to come across the way you feel inside. Another T-square occurs in your chart on the 11th of July, so this is like a problem-solving month, and this T-square is between Saturn and the Moon. And this is about, there's a stretch between how you feel kind of limited in terms of the way you can put yourself across, and the dream of how you can alter yourself and to become the person that you want to be. What is it that you love about yourself, and what is it that you don't love about yourself? It's okay to kind of say, I don't like this about myself and I'm going to change it, or accept it. I mean, those are the two options you've got, okay? So, yeah. If you're aware about something in yourself and you're trying to attract a partner and you don't like something, you can either say, well, that's the way I was created, that's the way it is, and I will accept that and I'll be happy with it. Or I'm going to change it, or I'm going to try my best to change it. So let's say if you are 10 pounds overweight and you say, that doesn't really matter, I'm beautiful with this extra 10 pounds, I accept that, it's fine. If you don't like it, then you can make, you can say, okay, well, I don't like it, I'm going to lose the 10 pounds and then I'm going to be happy. You've got that choice, okay? And on this, the 11th, I really see that you realize something about yourself that you then have that choice on, and I want you to make that choice, because that's going to make you even more lovable, more loving, and it will engage you with this process of finding someone in your life even more, or becoming more loving with the person who's already in your life. People always ask, is this also for singles or is it just for people in relationships? It's the energy that applies to both. Mars has conjuncted the Sun for the whole of June, and it ends on the 12th of July. It makes you, it stops driving you forward so strongly, and also Pluto has been in opposition with the Sun from the 27th of June until the 14th of July. Things kind of slow down a little bit for you. You're not, the first half of July, you're absolutely driven and living in a place of, want to manifest this relationship. It slows down a little bit now, and you become more accepting of what is. You have more trust and more faith that things will take their own natural course, and you feel more comfortable with your circumstances. Venus also conjuncts Jupiter from the 17th of June through until the 13th of August. And this is the last month when Jupiter is in Leo, which is really your time to shine, and your ability to shine. And you have a real knack for spiritual connection this month, Virgo. You are in love with spirit. I think you feel the love of the universe. You're really connected with what the universe has to offer. You feel like the channels are open, your antennas are binging all over the place. You're getting really good messages about how to manage your life effectively, how to manage it well. I think you're happy. I think you're in a good place, and I think you're just trying to share the love that you've got and the love that you have for your life at the moment. You're wanting to share that with someone else. And that continues for you through until 13th of August, so this is a great time of the year for you. The new moon occurs on the 16th. And this new moon is again in connection with your hopes and dreams. What is it that you're trying to desire? Continue to manifest it, continue to dream big, it will come true. New moons are like vacuums, okay? You pour, it's like, think of it as a black hole that appears on the 16th of July. And you get to throw a couple of things in. So I want the perfect relationship, I want happiness, I want wealth. You throw them in the black hole, you forget about it, that hole closes up, and things grow within it. You don't have to do anything, you just place that intention on the 16th and it occurs. Uranus squares Mars from the 16th of July through until the 2nd of August. And this is interesting because the tendency to mess with people or to be a little bit rebellious or to ignore what other people are telling you and to continually just be focused on yourself comes up again. So there is a tendency for you, Virgo, to be completely self-interested this month. I know you're dreaming about what you could achieve, but what about other people who need you? And what about the people who are already in your life but who may be boring or uninteresting or not glamorous enough or who you're just not that bothered with? What about them? So that doesn't feel as comfortable, but it's important for you to also be considerate of the feelings of other people. Venus goes into your sign of Virgo on the 19th of July, and Venus doesn't like being in Virgo, but you feel quite comfortable with Venus being in Virgo because it's about love on your terms. Not chaotic, messy love, but nice, neat love. And I don't want to be trite and say, you know, Virgos always just want things neat, but things the way you want them to be. Because I really think you're going to be very clear on what you're looking for in a relationship. And you're going to be clear to the point of, I want someone who's 6'1.5", with brown curly hair, with 8 freckles on his face, with, I don't know, great abs, and we have sex 3 times a week. I think you're that prescriptive in terms of what you're looking for, okay? And the goddess of love doesn't like being that detail-oriented and prescriptive because it's about being carefree. So you are very comfortable with this placement. Love on love's terms, I think you feel like your life is going the way you want it to and you're very comfortable with your practical circumstances and with the way your life is going and the direction it's going in. Another T-square occurs now on the 19th and it stays there until the 29th. So this is an ongoing problem and an ongoing solution. The problem is between Pluto in Capricorn in the 5th and all of that stuff going on in the 11th house. The solution to it is your North Node and your Ascendant in Libra in the 2nd. So the problem here is that this sense of longing comes back, and it may be that you're applying yourself and nothing seems to be coming in. And the way to solve that is to not get disappointed or to give up or to become bitter, but to continue just doing what it is you can do. But also to focus on work and seeing how you can help other people through your own work. So what I said earlier with you being a little bit self-centered and not being so considerate. A great way for you to work this month is to actually think, well, what expertise, what skills do I have, and how can I work at sharing those with other people to improve their lives? What can I do to be of service to other people? When you think along those lines, I think you're going to really earn money. I think you're going to add value to your own life, and I think it will be a kind of reciprocal two-way street where as much as you help other people, they'll help you get back. And that then can resolve the romance situation, whereas, you know, the person you help at the supermarket then turns around and says, hey, do you want to go for a meal? You know, it's that kind of thing. So it's give and take. Okay. Mercury goes into Leo on the 24th of July. And that's really good because it joins your Jupiter and your Sun in your 12th house. And spiritual communication becomes highly inspirational, highly passionate, and you are almost in a form of spiritual ecstasy. Which I don't say lightly, but you feel inspired and really alive with the possibilities of what you can. And spiritual, you know, covers a lot of things. It's actually spirituality as a religion, which I don't mean. What I do mean is the possibility of your life, you working in conjunction with your higher power to create the life you want. That's really what I mean. So when that becomes inspired and on fire, it means that you're totally in touch with your life purpose, that you're doing what you feel like you're meant to be doing, and that you're moving forward with that. So you feel completely purposeful at this time of the year. The next day, there is a grand trine occurring in water. A grand trine is an area of great talent and great ease. Excuse me. And this grand trine is between your midheaven in Cancer, Chiron in Pisces, and your moon in Scorpio. Okay? So this is about feeling comfortable within yourself, speaking your truth, and not letting yourself be stopped by past disappointments and by refusing to allow yourself to stop moving forward just because you think you may fail. It's about being brave. So you are brave on this day, and it's a great day to meet new people, to go on dates, to be yourself and not to let yourself become discouraged. Virgo, Venus goes retrograde on the 25th of July, and I've written down Virgo here, so I need to just change that. Yeah, so Venus goes retrograde on the 25th of July, and all the personal planets go retrograde. The most famous one is Mercury, and I think everyone knows about Mercury going retrograde. It's become a bit of a buzz placement in astrology. But Venus also goes retrograde, and so does Mars, okay? And Venus here goes retrograde on the 25th of July and stays in retrograde until the 8th of September. Now, I've already mentioned this, but Venus is the goddess of love. And when the goddess of love goes into retrograde, it's about reassessing and reevaluating what it is you love. It's about cooling down a little bit. It's about not entering agreements. And for you, Venus going into retrograde in your sign is actually quite a good thing for you, because you stop being so prescriptive of what it is and you become a little bit more open-minded of what love can be. And you don't tend to be open-minded because you have really clear ideas of what you want to achieve in your romantic life and who you want to be with. And sometimes, you know, even if we have a type, sometimes someone comes along who's completely a different type and who's meant for us. So it's really important not to be blinkered and to have an open mind kind of mindset when it comes to stuff like this. Then finally, the month ends with the full moon on the 31st of July, and I know there has been a full moon already on the 2nd of July, and when that occurs, when there are two full moons in 1 month, the second full moon is known as a blue moon. And that's where that saying comes from, once in a blue moon, because it's so rare that there are 2 full moons in 1 month. And just for your information, the next one is on the 31st of January 2018, so that just shows you how rare they are. A full moon in general is a feeling of culmination and blossoming. And the full moon on the 2nd was about that, and I think it was in Capricorn. Let me just double check. It was in Capricorn in your 5th house, so it's working on relationships. And this full moon is in Aquarius in your 8th house, and this culmination, it's in Aquarius in your 6th house, I'm sorry, okay, I was just flicking through. So this blue moon is in Aquarius in your 6th house. This is the second culmination, and this is a blossoming in terms of how you work at things, how you interact, what you learn, what you teach. So things become clear for you. Spiritually, especially, the spiritual work that you've been doing throughout the month now gives you certain ideas and allows you to have an understanding that you did not have at the beginning of the month. So you really, really learn something about the universe, about yourself and the meaning of your life and why certain things happen. And it gives you an acceptance of why things are sometimes the way they are and why they don't match the way you would like them to be. So you get peace basically this month. You become much more accepting of what is, and you align yourself with the divine will of the universe rather than pushing against it. If you'd like a private reading with me to give you some specific information on your chart, please get in touch with me via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. You can also email me. The address is readings@gregoryscott.co.uk, and please remember to subscribe to the channel. Have a wonderful July, and I'll speak to you soon.